Hey guys, what's up? We're in the next part. My goodness, I really need to get this message out of the way already because my phone is not reliable. Like, it's just not. I can't wait for my camera to get here. But anyway, whatever. Let's just finish talking. Previous part, I was speaking about ChatGPT and how much I was so pleasantly surprised by the quality of content that it produced, that it spewed out, and the volume, just the volume of information. And I was tempted to just use it verbatim, cut and paste just as it was, and then the Lord arrested me. So this is what happened. I wanted a 10-minute script. I wanted an in-depth analysis or an explanation on the nutritional benefits of sunflower seeds so I can help people, because I believe in them. I personally, on the daily, drink a beverage in the mornings that I sprinkle sunflower seeds into. My muesli has sunflower seeds because I'm trying to grow this hair and I'm trying to clear this skin. They have got a myriad of benefits, and I vouch for them. So this is something I actually truly believe in. It's not like I'm lazily just doing whatever I think I can, just throwing it out there, seeing what comes back. I actually truly believe in what I'm doing. But despite truly believing in it, I didn't put my effort into it, my zeal and my might. None of that. I really believe in sunflower seeds. I do. Like, literally go and grab them if at all you don't live in a region that has provided them by the Ukraine or Russia. Okay, very well. So here it is that I get this information on sunflower seeds, and I am feeling like, herein lost the lazy days for a hardworking woman. And guess what I was justifying my activity with, okay? I was like, God, I already work so hard. I have all these channels, and I'm trying to, I literally service all of them. On any given week, I upload on every one of my channels. So I've got 10,000 jobs. I can't afford to have one where I don't lift a finger. Honey, God is not mocked. Whatsoever a person soweth, so too shall he reap. You don't get to be lazy in one corner just because you're so hardworking in the other. Rather leave that other job out of the way so you don't have to sin against God. Gouge out your eye, cut off your hand. If you feel inundated and influxed too much to do all the jobs at the same time, you don't get to do a half job on the last job, because then God is going to judge you for being lazy there. Rather just do what you can handle. God is not going to give you grief over the fact that you didn't do 10 jobs when you could only take 9 on board. So only do 9 if that's all you can do. But do not be lazy on the 10th, because then on that day I'm going to judge you for it. Yo, if you know, then you know what you don't know. Alright, very well. I try to be lazy. So I grabbed this ChatGPT spewed script on sunflower seeds. It bore no fruit for me. It bore absolutely no fruit for me, and to this day it still is bearing it's bearing little fruit. Guys, the work that I do for the gospel, it used to prior, before YouTube started shadow banning everything I touch, whether or not even my breath, the CO2 that comes out of me, YouTube shadow bans that too, right? Before YouTube started doing that, I used to do so well on the work that I uploaded. I told you I was gaining about 200 to 300 subscribers a month before YouTube decided to just literally stop me from going. So it stopped me after 2 months, because I'm sitting on 600 subscribers, and it's been stranded there more or less ever since then. So for 2 months I grew phenomenally because I put my blood, sweat and tears. Sometimes I didn't even sleep, producing shorts, producing these videos, editing them, going through the most, okay? And so producing this content. And then I was suddenly stopped. So I've always borne fruit whenever I put effort into something. And that has paid off in a most spiritual way. Work heartily as unto the Lord, and you will be rewarded. Cast your bread out there into many waters, into the waters, and after many days it will come to you. The Lord has shown me that indeed you reap what you sow, Karab. So if you invest in your videos, you're going to reap. I initially reaped with YouTube the quality of the work that I'm producing, but then they shadow banned me, but it's not on God, that whole shadow banning thing, right? The Lord rewarded me with an audience that appreciated what I say, and I'm still getting validated to this day for the work that I produce on Facebook, because they haven't shadow banned me. Okay, so that's all the hard work that I put in. But when I produce lazy content, you guys, even with my fitness content, it was hard work. I edited it with blood, sweat and tears, and before the witch from Zimbabwe blocked me, I was growing really phenomenally. So my work has always paid off, where the human beings did not decide to block me. By the Lord, He has always borne me fruit for the sweat of my brow. Here it is that Karabo was trying to get fruit born without brow sweat, okay? And I grabbed that ChatGPT script, alright? And I was like, I've got a lazy way to make money, and I know that people are suckers for nutrition and fitness content. I thought I was gonna grow like weeds, just all of a sudden get taken up and whatnot. that's when I realized that the information spewed out by ChatGPT is skinny. It's like bullet points in a PowerPoint presentation. They're not the presentation. They're just the cue cards that help you expand on the topic at hand. So if you just read from the PowerPoint presentation, anybody can read, really. You're lazy, and on that day, you're going to get kicked out of the board meeting. You know what I mean? Yeah, I realized that ChatGPT produces bullet points, and that's why it doesn't come so highly recommended by people who are serious writers or who are trying to write serious books, and also doesn't come highly recommended by people who are trying to write serious scripts. They tell people go to Writer for that and go to, what is this other place? Jasper. That's why I don't want to go to Jasper or Writer, because I'm gonna be tempted. The Lord says, with every temptation, He'll give you a way out. For me, it's about gouging out. It's about avoidance altogether. I'm avoiding Writer and I'm avoiding Jasper because apparently it's higher quality than ChatGPT. I was already tempted with ChatGPT, so I know my propensity to just fall into that sin, okay? ChatGPT gave me bullet points, but the bullet points I started to notice when I researched information on other foods with nutritional benefits that I want to push out there. I started to notice repetition, lots and lots of repetition. And so I was like, oh my goodness. So every time I try to give nutritional benefits of an apple, of a fruit or a vegetable, I'm going to just get the same information. Vitamin C, phytochemicals, antioxidants, It's just going to be repetitive. You have got to come up with an edge with everything so that you're believable. Something that somebody will be like, it's not been done to death. And the only way to get stuff that's not done to death, information that's actually really valuable, is for you to actually research and actually study and actually find out how things work and figure them out, and so therefore put them in your own paraphrasable way. Okay, that's something that I learned the hard way with my nutrition channel. So I went and I grabbed the script I got from ChatGPT, went into Canva and copy pasted it, and just found footage that matched what I spoke about, and I got nowhere. My first ever upload on sunflower seeds on my nutrition channel, it got nowhere, guys. Maybe others might argue that it's been done to death, it's old, and really there's like 10,000 other people on the internet that have spoken about it. Nothing special about you, but I use my own voiceover because I consider myself well-spoken, and my voice, I believe, is soothing enough to listen to without a face even being on it. So I use my own voice instead of using AI technology, and I got nowhere. I tried to add animation. You know how AI does not have that animation in it, or where you like the nuances of a human voice that come through. AI does not quite cover that. So I figured that maybe because I'm using my own voice, it's not gonna be so boring. Guys. I went nowhere. I got nowhere. I had to chop up that. Oh, and it also ended up just being 2 minutes. Once I put it into Canva, it was only 2 minutes. I asked ChatGPT for a 10-minute, and it gave me only 2 minutes worth of information. ChatGPT, that is. So I put this like 2 minute 19 seconds video that went nowhere. I had to chop it up into little nitbits, and it was only in chopping it up that I gained just a handful of subscribers, because people are a sucker for shorts. But for nutrition content, it is low. It's low for nutrition content because people love food, and food content, travel, food, and money content will take you far on social media. And the fact that I got nowhere with this content tells me that people are just like, whatever. Everybody knows that there's vitamin C in apples. Whatever. Everybody knows that there are antioxidants in in sunflower seeds. Everybody knows. So I imagine that I was just boring people. However, I continued in this dead, and to date I've got about 18 or 17 subscribers on that channel, and that is after uploading content on sunflower seeds and apples and apricots. Things that I actually care about, whose benefits I can vouch for, having done a work on me, okay, that I got nowhere with, because I was not giving my experiences with apples. I wasn't giving my experiences with sunflower seeds and my experiences with apricots. They're not just a fruit to me, they have actually improved my life significantly in ways that if I just expanded on and written it down, people might have actually seen a different vantage point about apples that before that has not been done to death. Do you understand what I'm saying? I did this until I got exhausted. I was like, at this rate, God, given how much effort it takes to find footage, it takes forever to do a faceless video with stock footage, guys. It really takes long. It does. I was like, given how long it takes me to do just one video, I'm not doing it. So I got discouraged, and I then went all over the internet to try and find other quick ways to make money. And God was rebuking me all throughout by grieving me through the Holy Spirit. All right. It was only when I made a decision to write an article. So my first 2 articles, yes, ChatGPT as well. My first 2 articles that I wrote were on fitness. And I asked for the script from ChatGPT for both of them. Because like I said, I'm not an expert in this area, so I need guidance. I need guidelines. I intended to just copy and paste it in my blog, but because I care about my writing, you see, writing for me is just number one. Do you understand? Because I care so much about the quality of my writing and how people perceive me as a writer, I was not prepared. And because I richly respect the rules of plagiarism and the rules of your own content. If at all you're going to call it your own, actually being your own, I have integrity that way. Like, I really respect standards, university standards of writing. I really do. You know, I'm an academic that way, so it just did not sit well on my conscience that I was just copy and pasting something that ChatGPT gave me, and I'm calling it my own. As a writer, it just did not sit well with me. I could do it with a YouTube video because it's just a YouTube video, but when it came to writing, it's like I was breaking an unspoken rule. It's like I was no longer I could no longer qualify myself as a writer among other writers. It's like I was abandoning or betraying the covenant. I felt that way, and it just did not sit right with me. So I sat down in front of this ChatGPT spewed out script, and I added body to it. And that was the only time that I was able to feel okay, because the information that ChatGPT gave me, to me, it then became like a source, which is something that writers use all the time to write. It was a source of information. It was my research, and now I am putting it on paper. I grabbed all of those bullet points and I added my mind and my opinion. They guided my hand. They guided what I spoke about. They helped me balloon what ChatGPT had already given me. And that's when I was like, okay, this is how the kingdom of heaven operates with ChatGPT. It is a tool that has been innovated by human beings for evil means, but it is a research. It speeds up research for those who are using it in the right way. It is a tool for research. It is not the content itself. It ought not be the content itself. It ought be the foundation for research. So if you don't know how to write an article, where to start, if you're confused, if you are like me, where you have a passion but you're not quite an expert in the field, ChatGPT can give you a nice outline that will help you expand on the points that it gives you. It'll help you gauge aha moments. It's like a cue. It's a mnemonic cue. Like the bullet points that ChatGPT gives you are mnemonics. They are cues to help you recall everything else that you feel about the matter. So body it. And indeed, I managed to get myself a nice little 1,500 to 1,800 word article from writing about fitness, from an original script that was about 2 to 300 words long. I made it 1,500 to 1,800 words. And so then it became my own work. On that day, that was my own work. The source was from ChatGPT, but I'm the one that added meat to it. So I was able to then expand further, and I felt better. But I still continued to do videos in that weak capacity on YouTube, and they went nowhere. But my written work, I've been published on Hub Pages. I have received so far 10 followers, and it's very hard to get a follower. If anybody knows Medium, they would know. I've gotten 10 followers for my writing on Medium, and I got scouted to write for Corporate. I'm no longer writing for them because they are cheaters. I just found out the hard way, but I was scouted on Medium by Corporate based on the work that I wrote on sunflower seeds. That was one of the articles that I wrote about. So what I'm basically trying to help you guys understand. Oh, and I also got considered for an application at like Container and another website that I'm still waiting for, just based on the work that I published in my articles. You reap what you sow. I sowed effort into my articles on WordPress, and I reaped scouting, I reaped followers, and I also reaped acceptance or publication of one of my articles on Hub Pages. So, like, put in the effort and the Lord will reward you. And because of this, the Lord made me understand the reasons why He's not pushing my nutrition YouTube channel as much as I thought it would be pushed. It is because I'm not putting in the effort. I'm just using a ChatGPT script and pasting it into Canva and producing substandard content that people can tell is substandard. And so I'm only gaining a handful of subscribers. He basically told me that put in the effort on your videos and you will find yourself gaining 30 subscribers for one short. That's when you're going to grow at the rate that you need to grow to make any difference, a dent in your subscriber growth, so that you can look forward to a future where you one day monetized. But I'm not gonna, I love you. I chastise those. All discipline and reproof is good for healing. It yields the fruit of righteousness ultimately, even though initially it feels uncomfortable. That was the rod on my back by God, but it is yielding righteousness now because I realized I came up with a strategy that I'm yet to employ, but I'm going to communicate it to you guys now to do YouTube videos for my nutrition channel. And once I start to do that, I will start to bear fruit. I will start to notice. I will start to pick up in a way that I didn't expect. And that will be the Lord saying to me, see, you have reaped what you have sown. You have worked heartily as unto me, and I have rewarded you. Next part.